Hey guys, my name is Breanna and I go by Bree, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my literacy history and why I love English so much. So to start, we are going to go all the way back to kindergarten and elementary. My mom used to read to me a lot, and that's where my first connection with reading really started. I used to use my books as a connection with my mom. Some of my favorite books were Harold and the Purple Crayon and The Giving Tree. Harold and the Purple Crayon because my mom loves the color purple, and I always imagined her running around painting this purple world, and The Giving Tree because my mom always was giving and never really expected anything back. So she always connected with all of these books. Once I was in elementary school, I started reading chapter books, and so some of the chapter books I was reading was Goosebumps and Captain America. These books really gave me an adventurous side, so I got to see a different side of what I like to read. Goosebumps was always so scary, and I found it so much fun to be scared, and I still find it fun to be scared, to be honest. Even though they were the silliest things in Captain America, I mean, he's just a silly man running around in underwear, fighting crime. I mean, who wouldn't love this guy? He's awesome. So after starting to grip a grip on reading, I found out that I actually really do love reading, and I've loved reading all along, and I still do, and I do it all the time. I can go sit in my room for hours and just sit and read and be happy. It takes me to this place where I can just escape the world. Not that my world is bad or anything, but it's always fun to fantasize about what your life could really be like. My mom would always come in and she'd be like, do you want to go out or do this? And I was like, no, I'm just going to sit in my room and read. Lonely child, but hey, love reading. So jump into middle and high school. Really, we're just going to jump to high school because that's where I read my first book that I thought was crazy. 1984. I did not know what to think of this book. It kind of turned me off from reading because I thought it was crazy. There's people writing about Big Brother and security and watching you and what do you do. But my English teacher really helped me learn how to analyze characters, and that's where I really started to connect with reading even more. I loved connecting to characters and finding out why they did this or why they did that, who they are, what they're trying to get at, what this means and what that means. The character is my biggest connection to reading that I've found throughout all of them, and I try to connect with everything. So when it came to writing my papers, I was always good because that's what they wanted us to do. They wanted to analyze the book. And so when I would turn them in, my teacher would always be very happy, and I would always get A+. There would be little marks here and there, but I didn't know what they were, so I kind of just ignored them because I had an A+. Who's going to stop something if it's an A+? So I always thought I was wonderful at writing and analyzing characters. But when it came down to it, I realized that I wasn't, and it was confusing. In my freshman year of college, excuse the spelling, it fixes it, I'm sorry, I found out that I wasn't so good. In English 10:01, I wrote my first paper, and I completely bombed it. I did not know what happened. I was confused. Again, my paper was filled with a bunch of little red marks, and still no reason to how I should connect it. So my teacher told me that I should go to the writing center and get a tutor and try to figure out what was going on. So along I went, me and my confused little self. I'm really sad. I really thought I was good at writing, but I wasn't. So time to go get some help. When I went to the writing center, they asked me what I needed help with. So again, I told them grammar. I never thought that I was that bad with my grammar, but apparently with my paper I was. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I would have an hour session with this tutor to try and help me with my skills, and I did this for a solid month to make sure that I knew what I was doing wrong and how I need to fix it and how to make my papers better. And at the end of my freshman year, you could see a difference because I was getting B's on paper and still doing well. And I mean, it's not an A, but it's better than what you need. So reflecting on all of this, I never thought to think of that my teachers would fail me, like my high school teachers and all of my other teachers. I thought I was good at writing and analyzing, but when it came down to it, I really felt like they failed me. So I got this bright idea, well, what if I could be a teacher? I worked in a daycare at the time, and I thought I wanted to be an elementary school teacher, but then I decided, well, if I was in high school, I could help these kids prepare for college and love English, and so I wanted to be an English teacher. I still loved writing, I loved reading, I love the analyzing side of writing and looking into those characters. So if I could help those kids find a way to connect to reading, it was going to be my goal. Standing up in front of a classroom and helping kids has always been something that I love. I've always loved children, so just being someone that makes a difference in their lives and make them love something that I love so much just really gives me a connection to them, and I really hope that one day I can do something better than what my teachers did for me. And I know that sucks to say, not that my teachers weren't great and I didn't love them, but they didn't prepare me for what I needed, and I want to be that person that is going to give these kids that we are sending off into the world a helping hand in preparing themselves for college. Thank you guys for listening to my story, and I hope you enjoyed learning about my literacy history. It's a crazy ride.